you are probably setting goals wrong. Now, the average person sets their goals in this way. I want to gain 20 pounds of muscle. I want to lose 20 pounds of fat. I want to make $50,000. I want to save $100,000. You get what I'm getting at. Every single goal that the average person makes is outcome driven, meaning the goal is only on the crutch. It's only focused on what comes out of that goal, right? What is the tangible thing you get? Now, the issue with that, and the issue that most people have when making goals like that, is they don't really know what's going to get them there, right? So there's a big difference between having a goal and being clear on what it's going to take to get that goal. That is why I'm making this quick ramble that I'm very passionate about on how to actually set goals. The way that you should be setting your goals is by looking at what it's actually going to require to hit said goals. So let's say my goal is to lose 30 pounds. Just use that as a basic example. Instead of setting goals in the way of I want to lose 30 pounds by this time, we need to figure out what is it going to require to set those goals, which is why the title of this video is how to reverse engineer your goals. We're going to go start at the goal and go backwards. So if we want to lose 30 pounds, what do we need to do to lose weight? Lose any amount of weight, we need to be in what's called a caloric deficit. By the way, this isn't a video about weight loss, but just stay with me. So we figure out we need a caloric deficit. What inputs do we need to get into a caloric deficit to get to that goal of weight loss? Let's say it's 10,000 steps, and let's say it's eating this amount of meals, these foods, etc. We want our goal to not be to lose X amount of weight. We want our goal to be hit this amount of steps, eat this amount of meals with this amount of calories, drink this amount of water. That is how you guarantee that you hit your goals in life. So now let's relay this back to what the title of the video is, which is how did I hit 30K a month in less than a year by having this kind of ability to reverse engineer my goals. So I figured out the goal, 30K a month. Was I doing the things needed to hit 30K a month? I was not. I was in college. I was working a part-time job. There was literally no way that I was gonna hit 30K a month in that decade, in that entire decade, okay? In 2 decades, I wasn't gonna hit 30K a month. So I realized something needed to change. What people were making 30K a month, well, I saw all these online entrepreneurs, I figured out what was going to be the best path to get there. Now, this is not gonna be a video about every little business thing I did, but I got into something called high ticket sales, okay? I got into high ticket sales because I knew that that was a business model where I could control my inputs and then hit a goal, right? It wasn't about the 30K a month. It was what inputs did I need to get to that 30K a month. Now I can go into deep detail on high ticket sales. I'm releasing a free course soon. I have a training program. If you guys are interested, that'll be linked in bio, all that stuff. But the premise of this is essentially I picked something where I can control my inputs, but 30K a month was possible. Same way we're picking a caloric deficit because losing the weight is possible. I picked something where 30K a month was possible. And then once I picked that, I decided not just, okay, if I do this, that, and in between, I'll hit 30K a month. What specific inputs do I need? I knew that if I show up to this amount of coaching calls, I got this amount of calls reviewed, I did this many dials based on other people and practice this much, I would probably end up making the money I want to make and going on that path, right? Continuing to forge forward. I knew that if I did more inputs than the people around me in a sales environment, I'm going to be the number one salesperson. So knowing that if there's this amount of leads, enough leads that are, going to generate multiple hundreds of thousands a month, and I'm taking 10%, I knew that if I did enough inputs, the most inputs, I would be making a lot of money. And it's that simple. This is not going to be a 30-minute video. The secret to reverse engineering your goals is to literally focus on the inputs, on what we need to put in, not what we need to get out. And once you do that, and once you do not ever let up on that, you don't take no for an answer, you don't allow yourself to back out, you only take yes, which is doing the inputs, all of your goals will, I don't want to say easy, because it's not easy, but they will become so much more simple and clear. And this is how you get every single one of them. It's not gonna be a long video. I was just coming off of a coaching call, I'm on a heater. But I really think that if you employ this into your life, it will change your life because it changed mine. So go work, go build. Let me know how this goes. You guys all have my Instagram and whatnot, so shoot me a message if it goes well.